Tiffanie Kellog here, and I'm so very excited to be coming to you live with several amazing folks. And I am so excited to have joining me. First, I'm going to have them just introduce yourself, big name. So, David, you want to tell us who you are, what you do, where you're coming from?
All right. I'm David Bordez. I'm an expert in performance and longevity. And we're from Montreal, Canada, and we live in Mexico.
Welcome. So we're here in the U.S. We got above and below represented. Doctor, you want to introduce yourself, Doctor?
So I'm Dr. Lelai Raynal. I have a PhD in molecular biology. Used it for a while in science, and I changed totally my career to become an entrepreneur after that. And now using back my expertise in biology to help with performance, longevity, and especially I have started to become a triathlete, and I used all what we are teaching for my own performances and my podiums in triathlon.
Yeah, she started at the age of 52, and now she's on the podium. Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
That is awesome. Look at you. And I know somebody that you need to talk to because she's thinking about doing some triathlons. And hey, y'all, since I'm talking, my name is Tiffanie Kellog, and I love working with entrepreneurs to help them have more money, more time, more fun. And I'm based about a block north of Tampa, Florida. Though a little further north of me, we have who?
Hi, I'm Tom Fleming. I'm a vision and financial coach supporting people with creating vision in their lives and bringing that to fulfillment. I'm about an hour and a half north of Tiffanie on the west coast of Florida, about an hour and a half north of Tampa.
Well, and we are super excited to have everyone here today as it's more Monday. And so that means we want more something. And so today we're going to talk more community, more membership, and more money that can create for us. And so excited to have David, who is this performance and longevity expert. And this is something that I'm definitely dealing with in my body. And what's the body doing? And the women's body is very different. David's got something going on to help the men. So I'm like, this is that perfect counter to what I have going on. He's creating something because I'm like, if men are going through a tenth of what I'm going through, they could probably use a lot of help. So, and that's assuming that they're not having all kinds of other issues going on as well. So when I learned about what they were doing and this new group that they were putting together, and like, I like David, he's got his stuff going on, but I'm like, oh, we've got a doctor in molecular biology. Like, I'm a little jealous. I actually went to school originally to do biology. That was my major. That's what I wanted to do when I grew up. I wanted to do genetic research and engineering. I didn't. I went into business instead. I'm growing things in a different way. But I love what y'all are doing to help. And for this creation, this amazing company, I was like, Tom Fleming is really an amazing expert at launching communities, at creating that culture and having things that go. I don't know, David and Dr. Lelai, have you heard of an organization before called BNI?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so you've heard of it once or twice. Well, Tom Fleming actually created at least what was used in our region. Okay, maybe he didn't create, but he fine-tuned this amazing launch system that really took things to the next level in our region. It was a system that's used very successfully. And so when it's like, who do I know that has the need to launch a community? And I'm like, I know one of the best launchers, and let's bring them together to see what's going on. So Tom Fleming has an MBA, Babson College, which I don't know if I would remember, except the mascot is a beaver, right?
You're amazing.
Go Beavers. All right. He knows so much about business. When I think about numbers, it's like, when he thinks about numbers, what they can create, what get measured, get done. Yeah, it's the excitement. And so he is really great when it comes to the systems and making things happen. So, Tom, I'm going to turn the floor over to the two of, not the two of you, the three of you as we move in. Yeah.
Oops. Very good. Very good. Well, David and Layla, I am excited to support you both because I understand you're going to be launching a new program that's based on a lot of the work that you've been doing for years and years and years. And your intention is obviously to support people, So the program, I believe you're looking to start it on May 4th with 20 participants. Can you tell everybody what that program is about, how people are going to benefit, why people would be attracted to this program that you're offering?
Okay, well, the people we want to help are entrepreneurs, 45 plus, could be up until the age of 70. And what the question we would usually ask them is, do you remember the time when you used to finish your day, your work day, and have that energy to live life to the fullest? And many of them will start thinking, oh yeah, I remember that feeling. Okay, well, actually, this is what we do. We help them get that energy back, like the energy they had like 10 years ago or more, to be able to achieve their goals and enjoy their life and finish their career on a high note. That's the goal.
Nice. Yeah, I remember I'd work a full day during my 20s and 30s, and then I'd go out for a 15-mile bike ride. That's after going to the gym for an hour at 6 a.m. And I believe I need this program because that is not what my life looks like right now. My energy tends to wane about 4 o'clock. So I do have a few questions for you. This will be the first time you're running this program, correct?
Yeah, with a group. Yeah, we did it with individuals, but with group coaching, yes.
Okay, very good. And what will be the meeting schedule? Is it going to meet over a number of weeks? Is it going to meet once a week, twice a week? For how long?
Okay, we have a weekly call. The first thing is this program is a 6-week program. It's a quick start. And then we will offer a membership, so people will be able to continue, evolve, and progress, and all that. But at first, they will get the basics, so to know what is not tuned, what they have to realign, know how to do it, and so and usually within 1 week or two, they start feeling more energy, more focus, and their performance level, even their results, are starting to get better. So, but we do it in 6 weeks, and then we will continue with the membership. Yeah.
Okay, very good. And 1 hour a week, I presume, or 1.5 hours a week?
Just to make sure we have time, because when you have like 20 people, it would be 90 minutes. So we will present some stuff, and at the end there will always be a Q&A. So usually if it's everything is so clear, there's no question, will be shorter, but just to make sure we can answer to everyone, will be 90 minutes every week. And that's one of the things. The other thing is they will have modules like every week, and also there's a community so they can ask questions when during the week. We'll take those questions, we will answer them, but sometimes we might like go more deeper during the next call. And that's it. That's all we. And usually, because most entrepreneurs are busy, they don't have much time. Our promise is that you would invest between 20 and 30 minutes per day. That's it.
Okay, perfect.
And what I could add, if I may, just add. So we have a structured program with a progression. So with the video content, it's exactly what to do, what would be the routines and things to implement in the daily life. So with little video to really explain. So it's really to have the information all week long about the different aspects, because it's not about just doing sport or exercise. It's about the nutrition, it's about the exercise, it's about the sleep, it's about every aspect. So little short video to really dig deep to what the person really need or would benefit to implement on the weekly basis, and progress from weeks to weeks to get a full program of what is really the best to recover this and to get back this performance, this energy, this focus in the different aspects of their life and business.
I love it. And I want to get to our intention here, but I'm very familiar with what you all are up to. Tiffanie and I, we've taught a 10 to 12 week program focusing on supporting entrepreneurs that rely on referrals for their business, attracting them into the program and helping them, as Tiffanie said, make more money, save time, and have fun. The focus of the rest of today's conversation is how are you all going to launch this program on May 4th with 20 participants? And I have just a number of questions for you all to share your responses with the audience today, or just share with me, wow, that's a good question. We're going to have to think about that. So I presume the program is fully created. Yes? 2 thumbs up.
The structure, we have all the elements, but I'm still working on the structure.
Okay. Okay.
And also one aspect is that as it's a pilot program, there will be more interaction with the participants to understand really their needs and what they would benefit the most. So we will be able to adjust and to take into account really the needs of the people, and what that will make this first program even better for the participant, because they will get a more personalized version, because we will really go deeper in their precise needs to create even more content that we were originally thinking about.
Over the next few weeks, your goal is to finalize the curriculum for the program.
Because I had the opportunity to meet a few entrepreneurs. I interviewed a few of them, and I realized something came up, like many times they need a clear direction because they don't have much time. There's so much information and all that. And I want to make sure from the start, for example, in the program, okay, I will answer that question right away from the start, like health-wise, but also within the whole spectrum of their life, where it fits. That would be one of the things I will address. And that comes from the feedback I got from them. Yeah.
Okay.
And one of the things, I love the idea of, this, what is the curriculum going to be? And I love being able to have the conversation of, hey, here's the anticipation. And part of the joy of being the first is that we play around with a little bit. It may not be all completely, nailed in stone, or I'm envisioning sorry, there was typing and I was, it's not necessarily set in stone. And so there is some joy of, you get to be a part of helping us create that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So over the next few weeks, you're going to finalize the curriculum. Are you going to charge people for this initial series? Will there be a tuition?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And let me see. How many interested parties do you have interested in the program right now, do you believe?
Right now. Okay, that's let me think about it. Okay. Okay, and probably 3 right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's what I would recommend is that you identify between the both of you your top 20 to 30 relationships. I would call those relationships and let them know that you are honored to invite them to an inaugural program. Okay. You'd love for them to participate at a discount because this is your initial program. Okay. Usually the program is for X amount, but we're offering it for Y amount. And it's very important for you to have them there. Why call these people? Your best relationships. You're going to get the best results with those people in terms of registrants and attendees. Okay? The other thing I might ask of the people that are going to attend is that you would love for them after the fact to share a testimonial with you about what they gained from the program. And the format of that testimonial is, what was their situation before they came into the program? What did they learn and implement in the program? And what has subsequently, what their outcome is, which I presume you're looking for more energy, more focus, more awareness. Excellent, excellent. The other thing you want to do is you want to make a list of all of your other contacts, Who and how many people will you be inviting to participate in this? And what methods?
Okay. Who? You mean like our ideal client, or a specific like?
Well, let's say you've got chamber contacts,
Okay.
or you belong to a strong contact networking group, or your social media contacts.
Okay.
What I recommend is that you have a database put together of people in your network that are potential participants.
I understand.
Yes.
So we don't have groups right now because we're using ads, and we have different funnels, and what are different funnels, and one of them would be with a video sales later. So that was one stream of potential clients. People would participate. We will use LinkedIn also because someone said he has like 10,000 contacts. He said, "Oh yeah, we'll refer you different people." Okay, thank you. Yes, and we will also contact people we know. So we already started doing it.
Good.
So that's the goal. We didn't identify specific groups like Chamber of Commerce, other things like that yet. But it could be very interesting because I know sometimes where you're the right fit and you're not in competition, but it's complementary. People will say, "Oh, I love it. Okay, so I'll invite those people to this," and all of a sudden you could fill up the whole group. I mean,
excellent.
But we didn't do that work yet. Yeah,
that's okay. All I'm asking you to do is to explore your networks and identify the people you want to invite. See, most people fail at inviting because they don't realize it's a two-step process. I call this I squared. First, we need to identify, then we need to invite. When people think, "Oh, I have to invite people, I have to invite people, I have to invite people," they don't invite anybody because they haven't taken the time to identify and create a list of people they'd like to invite. So I think what a big step is, how are we going to promote this? Who are we going to invite? How are we going to invite this segment of people versus this segment of people? Is it going to be social media? Is it going to be text? Is it going to be email? Is it going to be this, that, phone calls, this, that, or the other? Okay.
Can I ask a question, Tom?
Sure.
Because this is kind of a new era, like, David's been working with, doing these amazing things, but it's kind of a new area, a new target market. Tell us a little bit, David, and Layla as well, either, when you think about, let me identify who are the people that I already know for this, what's kind of going through your head?
I'm not sure.
As you're thinking about, Tom just shared, reaching out and inviting the people that you knew.
Yeah.
What's going on in your head?
We already made a list. So I already contacted people. I spoke to a few of them. I know people who are willing to do the program. And I even said, right now, you're asking me how I feel about doing that, or I'm just not sure, about calling them, or.
Tom, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Why don't you share it again?
Okay. So Tom just shared that identify and invite is kind of his process. And step number one is identify. And I know you've identified a handful of people on your list already. And I wanted to check because I know he gave a few ideas, but you've made a short list. But how many people do you have so far? And then how many people do we feel like you might need? Tom, can you help translate that question for me, please?
I understand now.
Okay.
Okay, so I remember when we were talking in a session, and I did like on the spot. I'm social medias. Okay, oh, I know this person. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. I know this person. Okay. And then I realized I had like 20 of them, but usually, so doing the work, like going to, I don't know what, Messenger or whatever, and then I found a few names, and I said, okay, that will make sense. And then that was the first step. But very often you're not thinking about those people. So just doing that very simple exercise of going through your social media was one way of doing it. Yeah.
Excellent.
And Tom, if he wants to kick off with around 20 people, I know he mentioned he made a list of 20. Do you feel that making a list of 20 people and then reaching out to those 20 people only would be enough? Okay, so Dr. Layla's like, yeah, no.
David has answered his own question. So you are going to launch this event without a free event. And let me talk a little bit about that. In Tiffanie and I's referral program, where we help entrepreneurs attract more referrals, our goal was to run a free event where we would talk to people about a little bit about the content of the program, but more about how participants benefit from those testimonials that we received in the past. And our goal was to get about 100, 150 people in the room, okay, in order to have 20 people register. Now, your price point may be lower than what we were offering our program for. So therefore, your registration rate might be a lot higher than what we experienced. But you're right on track. If you invite 20, you're not going to get 20. So, and over time, you'll begin to determine what your ratio is. And by the way, don't forget you have an opportunity in the future to schedule that free event, to attract people to it, to help them understand what the program is about, and then at the end of the program, register them in. But I want to talk to you about a future way to continue to build your pipeline as you launch class after class after class.
He did look like he had a question before we move on. I know we have a time constraint, but maybe this needs to be a two-part conversation because I want to make sure we get the question answered before we move on. Sorry.
Okay, so you perceive I had a question. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. What was the hesitation there?
Yeah, because when you mentioned an event, I wouldn't do a whole day event, but we might consider a workshop. I mean, something we might offer that would give them value. And because what I realize very often, like, let's say we have a VSL and people say, okay, I love it, I want to know more about that. And then, but if you offer right away, like a discovery call, many people will think, oh, they will try to sell me something and I'm not ready yet. So very often they're afraid that well, that's what from my experience, if you don't have like that, you didn't develop this relationship, like sometimes with a few emails, they say, oh yeah, they want to sell me something. So maybe doing a workshop might be a way to to give them an opportunity to get to know more about us, and eventually say, oh yeah, okay, I might consider like doing this program with them.
Yeah, our event was an hour to an hour and a half long.
Okay.
It's just including testimonials from people who just completed the program. But I want to ask you this very important question. And you may just need to walk away from the call to consider this concept. What would inspire the participants in your program to want to refer people in their network to come take your next program?
Okay.
Again, it might be a question that you just want to consider.
Well, I already have the answer.
Okay, go right ahead.
Well, invite the people who are already transformed their lives during the workshop, and they can like talk and answer questions, and that's it. So they will say they will realize, okay, it's not, it's real. And
Okay.
yeah.
So the participants could, let's say Tiffany's a participant, she could invite me to attend a session.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
One of the 6-week sessions, so that I could get a flavor of what it's all about. Because
okay, you mean during the program? Okay. I'm sorry, I missed that part.
We were thinking
during the workshop,
a free workshop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like maybe we could have a free workshop on May the 4th to launch into the community.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But my main question is, why would your participants be inspired to invite people in their network? I'll give you an example. The people in our referral class, what we would share with them is, if you get people in your network that you're relying on referrals from, encourage them to participate in this series of classes so that we can teach you how to pass more referrals.
Mm-hmm.
Or so that we can teach them how to pass you more referrals. Okay. So what's the WIFM, WIIFM? What's in it for me if your registrants are referring people in their network? So we'll go from there. So the questions I've been asking you are all in line with creating a recipe, a duplicatable process, a system that you can use in filling one program into the next program, into the next program, into the next program. Tiffany, can you show that visual?
Yes, sir, I may.
All right. So David and Layla, are you familiar with a concept called a Gantt chart?
I'm not.
No.
Okay, this is a Gantt chart. I would use this in so many aspects of my business. Okay, what does this Gantt chart do? To launch the program that we taught or teach about referrals, these are all the steps that we utilize. The detail of the steps is not important. These are all the steps that we utilize in launching a program. Then you see at the top here, we've got weeks. And then during different weeks, we have notes in terms of which activities are supposed to be executed to not only build our pipeline on an ongoing basis, but also transition one series into the next series, into the next series, because we want momentum and we want leverage. Your leverage is your ability to have your current participants invite people into your next series. Okay. Your momentum is having a consistent class schedule, because a lot of people will tell you, you know what, I can't do the May 4th session. You want to be ready with, we have a September series coming up beginning at such and such a date and time. Can we register you for that program? They're either going to register or they're going to say, why don't you get back to me as that date approaches? And you can say to them, that's fine. I will commit to follow up with you per your request. So that way in July and August, when you call them to say, I'm just following up with you per your request to register you up for the September series, are you in a position to do that today? Okay. So you're always keeping your pipeline full to fill the next class. All the questions I've asked you today. How do you fill your pipeline? Who are you going to invite? How are you going to invite them? How are you going to register them? Will you run a workshop event to get people interested? Those are all the activities that you want to put on your Gantt chart. Maybe I should go over here, the activities. And then you want to determine a timeline of when you're going to execute those activities. And again, what you've created is a recipe and a system for success. How does all that sound?
Great.
Mm-hmm.
I love systems because you can wash, rinse, and repeat, and it works. And you can make it even better. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That completes our conversation for today. I think you and others have enough fodder from this conversation to begin to create and over time fine-tune your system for developing momentum and filling class after class after class after class. And I hope this has been helpful for you. And I want you to invite me to learn more about your program. Because
actually, we're going to have a workshop soon.
Okay. Very good. The last thing I want to share with you is, Tiffanie, help me out with this. Get in your mind when you need to start inviting people for the next series. It's not 2 weeks before. It may not even be 3 weeks before. Is it more like a month before, Tiffanie?
Yeah, and I would say even 6 to 8 weeks at minimum. However, I think May the 4th, we're at 4 weeks. I think we can rush it for that. I think we've got enough time. The more, the better. But yes, you want that time to get it going and start talking about it. Tom, can I ask you to share one more thing?
Of course.
Will you tell them a little bit about horn tooting as a way to spread the word about this program?
Okay, the concept of horn tooting. This is a rhetorical question. How many times a day do people ask you how you're doing? Just what is a typical response for people? Fine, great, wonderful. Here's one of the ways I consistently filled our program on an ongoing basis. I would horn toot. Things are going great. We're launching a new program. Things are going great. We just graduated a program. I always shared with people that we had things going on. And here's what the listener was hearing. Everybody's taking this program, but I haven't. What am I missing? What am I missing? So take advantage of letting people know that you're excited and you're enthused and you've got great activity and momentum around this program, because they will start to wonder what they're missing. And they will in turn come on board and learn how to create a more energetic, fulfilling, mind-focused life for themselves, full of success.
I love it. Yeah.
Wow. In just a moment, I am going to ask the two of you just what was your top takeaway or two, because this has been so much information. And even I have a few notes of what I sometimes call the BFO, the blinding flash of the obvious. Just that remember of the basics, the simple. And for those of you watching this, well, what about social media? Because this is a program or a system that Tom used from the 90s when he started. When I started using this same system, there was no social media. And so, yes, social media can be amazing and it can also be a crutch. And so for me, I love this conversation around it's who are the people that I know? How do we engage them? I think the social media is great, especially when we have a huge budget to dump into it. Though when we don't have a huge budget for social media ads, I love let's organically work our network, and make it super easy for folks to refer us. So from the two of you, I'd love to hear a top takeaway or your excitement. Where are you planning on going next based off this conversation? Wait, assuming that you have to talk to your partner first, because you know that's how it goes when you're in a partnership.
Am I allowed to talk? Well, definitely we will do a workshop. That will be instead of, so the step wouldn't be so high. There will be another step in between to make it easier. Yes. The other thing is very often we already had this conversation. Like if you want to contact a chamber of commerce, very often it takes time. But there are other organizations, and if it's the right fit, it could be fast. I remember once she was like she started her career in internet marketing, and I was like planning events in hotels, and the full capacity was 80 people. I called real estate companies, and it was full because I said she will offer you agents internet marketing free training for one evening, and it worked. So what I realized is if you contact the right group, it could be very fast. So yeah, that's one of my takeaways. Yeah.
Excellent.
I want to say thank both of you so much for opening up your business, being very transparent with what you have going on. And it sounds like the group is amazing. And, you know, it was interesting because when I learned more about what you do, I'm like, oh yeah, Tom is going to be not only perfect for this conversation and it kind of, you know, in that like world. And so I was so excited to bring everyone together today. And Tom, I don't know if you got the May the 4th as the date that David chose. It's a Star Wars kind of thing. May the 4th be with you. So we are bringing the force, the power to help create some extra energy in this world.
I'm looking at my calendar and things look pretty open, but I'm excited to get your invitation to your workshop so I can learn more.
Thank you.
Right. Well, thank y'all, everyone, for being here today. It has been a fabulous More Mondays, and we look forward to seeing you at one of our More Abundant Entrepreneur Community events, hopefully soon, y'all. Remember, 11:05 a.m. every Wednesday, we work to create abundance for more entrepreneurs.